I was trying to identify if there was a food-related thing, like if I hadn't eaten enough.
To me, the patient's voice, the stories they have to tell are absolutely central to the work of healing.
The school day.
The poetry of the encounter helps me to think even more effectively and more thoughtfully, really, about that. I feel like listening to that story and really attuning my ear to the patient's voice helps me listen to their heart more clearly. The best poems, I think, are rhythmic, are musical, and reflect the rhythms of our body, the rhythms of the physical body, the heartbeat. And so in some ways I think poems train my ear to listen, to auscultate to the heart more effectively, to really, hear that rhythm very clearly. And I certainly find in writing poems at the same time that all that time listening through the stethoscope has also sharpened my ear for meter and to make my own poems sing the way the body sings. We thought of medicine, and imagining a career as a doc as really as a kind of an art. And I think sadly, because of in some ways some of these pressures relating to the biomedical and the ever-expanding knowledge base, the kinds of time pressures we face now in seeing patients, the financial imperatives, the money aspects of medicine, that all of these kinds of pressures have encroached in a way on a very sacred interaction between two people. And that's what troubles me. I really worry that as those pressures build, we continue to lose more and more of that art of caring for patients that I think is still absolutely essential. And yes, we do see, sadly, more and more cases of erratic behavior from physicians who are under all of these kinds of pressures. We see a lot of burnout. We see a lot of physicians who sometimes behave unethically. We are so relentless in our pursuit of facts, and of course it's tremendously important for us to know how do we interpret this potassium level, how many lymph nodes were positive on the CT scan. But to my mind, this isn't really an either-or proposition. I think we can know those facts. We can, in fact, attend to those facts even more acutely by a knowledge of the context in which they occur, in the context of the individual patient's life. And if we lose sight of that context, those data can sometimes perhaps even mislead us, or we can become distracted in some sense by a too relentless focus on those numbers and forget that really that potassium lives inside of a person who has a whole story of what's happening to her that is equally, if not more, relevant than that data is.
We'll do those other tests. Okay, we'll order those.
To them, what the arrhythmia was actually isn't really so important. What's more important is that we recognize this was a mother, this was my sister, this was someone with a spiritual life who maybe now needs last rites, and those aspects of caring for patients are, again, I think equally important, and in fact perhaps more important when again there isn't going to be another round of chemotherapy, or the chronic pain medication isn't sufficient to alleviate the pain, but maybe the comfort of sharing a narrative, of a story, a poem, maybe that heals. Maybe that takes some of the pain away.
And it's a nice juxtaposition too.
The best doctors do listen, and I hope someday that the humanities and poetry in particular will be even more part of the training of young physicians, because I think it can teach us to be more effective listeners.
Descending imagery.
Yes, I've had some reactions to what I try to do. Well, they say, the students' schedules are so crowded. The students have so much biomedical knowledge they have to absorb. They're only here with us for 4 years. But I think the students are also looking for, especially earlier on in their training, they're really looking for, how do I synthesize that knowledge? How do I bridge my expertise with what the patient is actually experiencing, and bring that knowledge to bear in a way that may cure sometimes, but that also, when there isn't again going to be the cure that we all hope for, that can still be healing. And the students, sadly, I think, are often contending with what we call the hidden curriculum, where the culture of medicine has valued, and in some ways perhaps overvalued, the biomedical cure, the intervention, the reading that EKG, getting the answer right, the hierarchy, all of the kinds of things that are part of becoming a doctor. And I think as they experience that part of training, they become alienated. They perhaps themselves begin to lose sight of what first called them to the profession. And so that workshop is an opportunity, I think, for them to perhaps feel renewed, to see what they're doing in that larger context that, again, in the heat of the moment sometimes is lost.